everyone, welcome back to Heather the Sunflower Witch. I'm Heather, and we are here with a tier list. And in this particular tier list, we are looking at the major arcana cards, and I'm going to kind of share my personal feelings on them. With this particular ranking list, we have the Ride or Die, which I'm using that as like one of my favorite cards. A rank, which is going to be just, I like the card. I don't really have super strong feelings, but it's a good card. No strong feelings. I don't really feel good or bad to it. It's there. The I'm bored rank is going to be for those that kind of get on my nerve, but I mean, it's nice to have. And then the D rank is just going to be the ones that I'm just kind of done with. And a little bit of a spoiler alert. There's not many that I would say are at this bottom rank. There's probably more in this rank than that rank. Just because each card does have its place. But I do have some favorites of mine. And so I kind of want to put them in. And then the ones that end up on these three, I do want to order them as what I like. So the first thing is the Chariot. Chariot's actually one of the ones that I don't really have any good or bad feelings with. I do like, I mean, I like it that it can show movement and the energy to go towards something, and it's a good card, but for me, it just doesn't really have any good or bad with feelings in my craft. It's kind of just there, and whenever I see it, I'm like, okay, it's the Chariot. The next is the Magician. The Magician is actually one of my Ride or Dies, because I really enjoy having this card come out when I'm doing manifestations and it's telling me to kind of center in on that. I do also enjoy the different illustrations that the Magician can have on different decks. I also really enjoy it's being kind of the center of, this is you, this is your manifestations, this is like the good coming in. I really like this card. Now we have the Emperor. And the Emperor, I'm actually one of the ones that goes down in this bottom rank. When I see it, I'm kind of just like, really, is that coming out? And it's not necessarily a bad card. For me, it's just, I don't necessarily like it. I like the illustrations that come with it, but I don't really have positive feelings with it. So the Emperor goes to the D rank. The next is the World. The World is an A rank. I would put it after the Magician. Or not A rank, the Ride or Die. I would put it after the Magician, simply because I do like this card. It is something that when I am wanting to look towards peace and things coming together, seeing the World card is a card that I really enjoy. And so for this, it's actually nice to see whenever it does come up, and it is a pretty favorite card of mine. Next, we have the High Priestess. This actually goes in my A rank. I like the card. It's not my favorite, but it's pretty cool. I do like that the centering around intuition and gaining more wisdom in the craft. And when it does come out for me, a lot of the times it is telling me to strengthen my intuition or look further in the craft. So for me, it is a good reminder card in my craft, but it's kind of there for me. The next is the Tower. Now, to be surprising with some, it actually is an A rank, and I would put it probably after the High Priestess as well. This I actually kind of like, because while the Tower does have the negative connotation with it, it's pretty cool. It's that signifying card for me to be like, okay, something is coming to an end. It's going to be chaotic, but you're going to recover from this. And sometimes I need that Tower card to give me that extra oomph to be like, okay, something is coming down. So that's why I actually like that card a bit more. Next, we have the Lovers. For me, the Lovers, I don't have strong feelings for. I probably have more feelings for this card than the Chariot. But for me, it's a nice card to have. Recently in my craft, Lovers come up a lot. And so for me, it is a very repetitive card. And I'm kind of like, okay, cool. Being the love all around you. Okay, love, maybe a new love coming in. Cool. But I don't really have any, like, strong feelings with it. Next is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune I'm putting up here as my ride or die. Now, if you were to ask me when I first started my craft, it would actually be down here in the D rank. Because this card came up so often, and when I first started out, I never understood the Wheel of Fortune. I always took it in the negative light, almost like the Tower. And it's not. It's just talking about the things, it being a wheel, so things will come up and come down. And that's how it's going to end up. So for me, it's, when I came to the realization with that, it is a pretty cool card to have. And when it does come out, I do like it. And it's actually my favorite deck, which is the Mystical Medleys deck. The Wheel of Fortune in that deck is really cool. And it's probably one of my favorite illustrations of the Wheel of Fortune. Next, we have the Hierophant. Hierophant is one of the ones that ends up in the I'm bored. This talks more about the tradition and values coming in. And when it does come out, I don't have strong feelings for it, and it's more just kind of like meh. That's how I would put it. And the I'm bored is kind of my meh. I'll use it in the readings, don't get me wrong, but I don't have strong feelings as I do for like the cards up here. Then we have the Strength. The Strength I would put in the A rank. I would put it after the Tower. Because I do like it reminding to have the genuine, like, more softer side of Strength, but also the strong of the Lion. For me, Strength is just, it's a nice card to have as well. When I do see it come up, it is kind of that reminder for me to be a bit more courageous. And so I tend to like that card when it does come up because it is a good reminder. For me, the next card, this is my all-time favorite, the Justice card. Come on. Hold on. There we go. Justice is my #1 favorite or tarot card. This has to do with, my justice workings, but also studying justice magic. The idea that the things are balancing out in your favor and learning what is fair, what is just, and what is fair for somebody that might not necessarily seem fair for others. And for me, I like this because there are a lot in the world where justice isn't always balanced correctly. So this card is one of my favorites. Next, we have the Moon. The Moon, I would also put up on A. I would actually put it before the Tower and the Strength, but after the High Priestess, because I do like this card. I like when this comes up because it is the reminder for me to kind of strengthen my intuition, but also like signifying that there could be some illusions around and that my discernment is actually going to be more to my advantage. And this also, when it comes up in some of my readings, is the pay attention to my dreams. And for me, whenever I have dreams, there's usually something in the dream that is kind of like a signifying thing, or it might even just be kind of a vision before it happens. And this card is a good signifier for that for me. I'll tell you like a bit of a short story, but when I went out sampling, when I was in my graduate degree, I had a dream where I was looking for a specific tape to put the equipment together so I could sample the water. And in the dream, I couldn't find the tape. And in the dream, my advisor at the time went over, grabbed it, and was like, "Here it is. It's in front of you." And when I woke up, I was like, okay, whatever. That was just a dream I had. Well, when I went out sampling, it was a couple weeks later, I think. And the exact same thing happened where I was supposed to look for a tape to put the equipment together so we could sample. I couldn't find the tape, but before I went to my advisor to be like, hey, I don't know where this is at, I remembered it was under one of the boxes, like in my dream. So it's a nice little signifier for me. Next we have the Hermit. The Hermit is on the I'm bored rank. I just kind of meta me, because I do find that I'm more kind of ambivert. So there are times where I do Hermit, and when it does come out, sometimes it comes out when I am already hermiting, and I'm like, well, I'm already doing it. Like, why are you coming out? And while it is a message that I need to hear when it is in a particular reading of mine, it is a very just kind of meh when it comes out for me. Next, we have the Empress. The Empress goes up here on the Ride or Die. I would put the Empress probably before the World and the Wheel of Fortune, but after the Magician. Because the Empress, for me, is that femininity, that feminine strength. And I do like that for me because sometimes I need the reminder to come back into my feminine side, and that there is strength within that. So it is a nice card that comes out that is that reminder for me. So it becomes one of my Ride or Dies, because when I do see it, I get excited. A lot of my Ride or Dies, when they do come out, I get excited because I'm like, oh, it's my favorite card. And then when I see my A ranks, I'm like, oh, it came out, I'm excited. And then these 3 ranks, when they do come out, I'm like, okay, what does it mean for the reading? But at the same time, I'm like, okay, you came out. Whatever. Next, we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man also goes here. I would say I have a bit more stronger feelings to it than the Hierophant and the Hermit. But it is kind of just a meh connotation because it signifies the limbo of a particular process or in a situation. And sometimes I already feel like I already know the answer, that I'm in that limbo. And it's kind of like when it does come out, I'm like, okay, I know you're confirming this, but I am kind of annoyed. So it is one of the cards that more annoys me. The next is the Death. And Death kind of falls into the A rank as well. It does come after the High Priestess, the Moon, the Tower, and the Strength. The Death is one of the cards that I do like because it is that signifying card for me that I am now letting things go away in order to bring in the new. And for me, that is kind of that reminder that this is what you're going through. It might feel like crap right now, but it is turning for the new. So I do like this type of card for that type of reading, for any readings that it comes out in. Next, we have the Temperance. The Temperance, I don't really have any good or bad connotation to the card. It's a nice card to have. It's a nice card to remind me of balance. But again, it's not something that I feel really like excited when I see it in a reading, or I feel kind of like, oh, well, like hush type of reading. It's there. It's just a pretty decent card. Next, we have the Fool. The Fool goes in the A rank, and it goes before all of these cards. Because while the Fool is not a utmost favorite card of mine, it is probably a favorite card in the A rank, because it's a reminder for the childlike innocence, the joy to jump into something new. And for me, it's the reminder for me to go back to that childlike innocence that I don't think about. And it's the Fool cards, and a lot of the different decks that I have some beautiful illustrations with it. So it does become a card that I do like. Next, we have the devil. The devil is going to be down here in the D rank. It's whenever I see it, it's kind of just it's kind of annoying when it does come out, though it does usually tell me about whether a situation is going to go haywire, or if there's another side of the coin that I haven't looked at, the more seductive side. Because with the devil, usually it's signifying something a bit worse for wear. And for me, when it does come out, I really just don't like seeing it. I know it needs to come out when it does come out, but it kind of gets that like a pit in my stomach that's like, oh crap, it came out. Next, we have the star. The star is going to come up here on my ride or die, and I would actually put it, I would say before, actually I'd probably put it even before the magician, because the star is a favorite card of mine when it comes to talking about dreams coming true, and that I'm wishing on a star per se, and having the hope for something to come through. It's exciting for me when it does come out, and whenever I do see it, it's like the kind of giddy feeling that I get, that like, oh, it came out, yay. So I do particularly like the ride or die card, or the star in the ride or die selection. The next, we have the sun. The sun I would also put in my A rank. I would put it probably after the moon, but before the tower. So funny, the sun and moon are together. But the sun being that joyful, happy, energetic feeling, it's nice when it comes out. It's what I would say is a cool feeling when it comes out. It's exciting. It's not a favorite card of mine, but I do like it when it comes out. And then we have Judgment. Judgment will actually be one of my ride or dies, and comes probably after the magician, right here. And the reason for that is Judgment usually comes out whenever I need it the most, because it is telling me to come up for a change, or to have something come for me, or it's the reminder for me to show my true self and to not let a mask be put ahead. So the Judgment's one of my favorite cards that does come out, and there's a lot of good illustrations when it is talking about Judgment. So it has become a favorite card of mine. I wouldn't say it's my top favorite like the Justice is, but it is a ride or die card of mine. So this is my tier rank of the Tarot Major Arcana cards. Some of my stronger feelings, some of my meh, some that I just don't particularly have a good, like a positive, excited feeling when I get to it. And while for me, all of these cards do have a place in the reading. They do come out when they need to, and they do explain things when it needs to be explained. But it's just kind of going solely off of what are my favorites and what are not my favorites. So if you liked this video, feel free to like and subscribe. I do have a bit more informative videos on the channel talking about intuition, moon magic. I even have some gaming contents right now, so if you like video games, feel free to check them out, see if there's some that you might like. I also do have tarot and oracle readings on this channel that get posted every now and then, so also feel free to check those out too. I hope you have a great day, evening, or night, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!